Hey, Bequest, where are you? Seriously, that should be an easy question, right? But buckle up. By the end of this video, you'll realize you have no dang clue where you are. So, where are you? You might say, well, I'm at home, duh. Or maybe you'll pull up Google Maps and get your exact coordinates. And that's a good answer. After all, GPS was developed by the United States military to locate things with precision, like submarines, planes, and probably your uncle. GPS isn't perfect, but it's pretty dang close. So why don't you try jumping out of a plane at 25,000 feet mid-air without a parachute and try to land on a tiny net relying mostly on GPS? No, that's what Luke Aikins did in 2016 for the world record. Insane, right? But Luke was forced to use GPS because our brains didn't evolve the spatial cognition required to navigate dive bombs from the dang troposphere. In fact, can you even walk in a straight line blindfolded? There's countless hilarious YouTube videos of people attempting this, and all of them fail. That's because we rely on all kinds of mental GPS, like egocentric and allocentric cognition. This is how we orient ourselves in space relative to other things. General relativity states it well. The position of a body is only meaningful in relation to another body. We need coordinates. Sets of numbers that tell us where something is in relation to something else. For Earth, we use the geographic coordinate system. It's a spherical model using latitude and longitude, with the equator being 0 degrees latitude and the prime meridian 0 degrees longitude. Obviously, they were chosen as a 0-degree point since they're at the center of the Earth. Or are they? Center is completely relative. In space, there is no up or down. That orientation you see on Google Earth is completely made up. You can rotate Earth this way, or even this way, and it's still not wrong. It's pretty trippy to think about. Our view of Earth is completely made up. And Earth is a sphere. Well, technically an oblate spheroid, but we ain't ready for that conversation. Anyways, a sphere doesn't have a center on its surface. You can stand anywhere on Earth and technically be at the center. But where is the Earth? Where are you really? Let's get specific. Us tiny humans are on planet Earth, and planet Earth revolves around the sun, and our solar system is a part of the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way is being pulled toward the Great Attractor, and all of this is within the Laniakea supercluster. And this, in turn, is being pulled towards the Shapley Attractor, and so on and so on. If we keep zooming out, eventually we'll reach the edge of the observable universe. What's outside that? By definition, we got no dang clue. Hopefully it's a Taco Bell cantina. We don't know where our reality lies, where our little patch of the universe sits compared to anything else. But here's what's wild. No matter where the universe is, you always end up at the center. Because light travels at a finite speed, and the universe has a finite age, what you see depends on where you are. You're at the center, but simply because that's where your view of the universe begins. So ultimately, everything is relative to you. So fine, I guess you are the center of the universe. But where are you, really? This time I mean bodily. Where do you exist? You are your mind, right? But where is your mind? If I were to take half of your brain out, would you still be you? Science says probably. 6-year-old Cameron Mott had an entire hemisphere of her brain removed due to violent seizures, and yet she's out there living her best life. And dozens of others have similar stories. So we can lose half of our entire brain and still be us. But what if we took one half of your brain and put it in a different body? Would they both be you? Or neither? Or only one? We don't know. We don't know where our consciousness is, what the neurocognitive process is. There is no single piece of you that we can point to and say, here, exactly here you are. No, the best we can do is pinpoint the few areas you do need to continue living, like the brainstem, which connects your brain to your spinal cord. The President's Commission for the Study of Ethical Problems defined death as an individual who has sustained either irreversible cessation of circulatory and respiratory functions or irreversible cessation of all functions of the entire brain, not the heart. During mummification, ancient Egyptians preserved the heart and left it in the body, believing it was the seat of life. So they chucked the brain out like it was expired hummus. They were wrong. Whether it is cancer or heart disease or any physical injury, human death ultimately comes down to one thing and one thing only: brain death. When your brain is deprived of blood, oxygen, and nutrients, you die. Or do you? Here's the problem. Your entire reality is constructed by your brain. Everything you've ever known, felt, seen, or loved, it all passed through that big wet meat lump in your skull. Your brain is the final checkpoint for all information, and you can't step outside of it to verify that anything or anyone truly exists outside of you. So when someone dies, do they actually die? We don't know. We can't experience their death. We can't experience anything outside of us. It's a predicament. The egocentric predicament. But the assertion that you are the only thing you can be 100% sure exists, and everything else, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your environment, all might just be an illusion or figment of your mind, is solipsism. Though it may be far-fetched, I can see why some people believe in this. You truly are at the epicenter of everything. In some sense, you are everything there is. Which is pretty disturbing to think about. And maybe you aren't even here physically, locally. Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, once said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness." That's a wild statement. If consciousness does not come from the brain, but instead acts like a receiver, then you aren't really here, are you? You're somewhere unobservable, unverifiable, untestable. This is the transmission theory of consciousness. Nikola Tesla, a genius ahead of his time, believed, "My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration." To Tesla, our brains were an instrument, tuning into the metaphysical, listening to something beyond us, beyond matter and energy. So where are you? We don't know. We can't answer that. Not now. Probably ever. As Planck put it, science cannot solve the ultimate mystery of nature. That is because, in the last analysis, we ourselves are a part of the mystery we are trying to solve. Thanks for watching.